Coming up on Mountain News this morning, drug shortages continue to plague pharmacies across the nation, leaving some Kentucky health workers concerned for their patients. And a combination of 3 illnesses impact schools here in our region, causing them to cancel classes altogether.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. 5:32 here on this Tuesday. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. And Brandon, don't tell our bosses, but I actually left the desk to go outside to take a picture of the moon, and it's actually quite cool. So
I didn't have to. You just did.
I know, that's why I said it like that. but the picture I got was not really the best picture, so if y'all have pictures of the eclipse, just please send them to us.
And here's the thing, we're getting a lot of cell phone camera pictures in it, and some of these cell phones are really good cameras right now, but if you have a professional camera and you want to send us one, and I've been kind of keeping an eye on Twitter, I know Mary and Johnny, 2 of our weather spotters, have those professional cameras, so we'll see if they'll send any in. But again, this morning, we are in the lunar eclipse, but overall, it's a cold and quiet weather morning. Let's take a look, see what's going on the Pine Mountain, Whitesburg Mountain, US 119 on this election day. 30 minutes, actually less than 30 minutes to the polls open at this point. So again, you need to get out there and vote if you haven't already. Quiet conditions up there, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Clintwood down the cold spot at 41, 55. Somerset and Monticello on the other end of the scale. A lot of mid to upper 40s and low 50s across our region. Across our state, already in the 60s in Paducah, Clarksville, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, and then back out toward Bowling Green. A lot of 40s and 50s in the east where we had those clear skies this morning, and we have not warmed up just yet. So again, today, about 68 this afternoon for a daytime high. It's going to be a very nice day out there. Enjoy it because some changes are coming toward the end of the week. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, 2 people are dead after a house fire in Madison County. The coroner says the victims' bodies were sent to the medical examiner's office in Frankfort for an autopsy. Berea fire officials say they were called out to the 1500 block of Paint Lick Road for a fire around 11 o'clock Sunday night. They say they saw flames coming from the home when they arrived and began knocking it down. They sent a team inside to do a search of the home, and that is when they found the 2 victims.
It starts at the location or the scene of the fire, determining if it's an arson. That'll be with the assistance of Berea Fire Department and the State Fire Marshal. Then you go to the medical examiner's office to determine the cause of death and the identity, and then just what the investigation entails from this point on from our detective.
Well, the coroner says the home had no electricity and no running water. Well, we are learning more about a reported assault at the University of Kentucky that has gone viral. The video shows Sophia Rosing assaulting and calling Kyla Spring and other students racial slurs. Rosing was arrested in court on Monday. She had a not guilty plea entered for her. Spring was working as a desk clerk at Boyd Hall Sunday morning when a woman she says appeared to be drunk entered the building. In a now viral video, the woman is heard saying the N-word more than 200 times. Rosing was ordered to have no contact with Boyd Hall or the victim if released, as well as not to consume alcohol. UK released a statement saying it is investigating the situation. One Leslie County man is lucky to be alive after following a close encounter with a tree this past weekend. Around 2 a.m. Sunday, Chief Deputy Jeremy Vega was dispatched to this scene on Kentucky Highway 699. The original caller said a driver who was not identified was trapped inside the truck after it fell on it. Well, when Vega got there, he found that was exactly the case, but the driver managed to get out on his own and luckily was not injured. 2 local volunteer fire departments helped at the scene to get the road cleared and back open. Across the nation, drug shortages continue to plague pharmacies, and the latest shortage of amoxicillin could mean trouble during cold and flu season. Clarence Sullivan is the owner of one Kentucky pharmacy, and he says he's concerned about the supply. He says if you end up needing amoxicillin, pharmacists recommend calling around to see who has it in stock.
We don't have certain medications like amoxicillin even available to us, so it's a search and find for patients at this point.
Other big-name drugs such as Adderall are also in short supply. Pharmacists say if you are feeling sick, make sure you consult your doctor whether an over-the-counter prescription medication is the best form of treatment. A situation health officials are calling a triple-demic has been impacting students, faculty, and staff across the region. For about 1 week now, several eastern Kentucky schools have closed temporarily due to illness, and public health officials say a spike in COVID, flu, and RSV cases is only just the beginning. Infectious disease specialist Dr. Ferris Cotter says these school closings can prevent the spread temporarily, but we all must continue taking other safety precautions as well.
My main message is do the things we can do. What's in our hands, what we can do. There's stuff we can't do anything about. You know, these viruses are circulating, they're going to infect whoever they can infect. But what we can do as patients, as parents, mom and dad, or as physicians, doctors.
Dr. Cotter says it is crucial everyone get their COVID-19 vaccines and boosters, as well as their annual flu shot. If you are symptomatic, you should stay home from school or work. A local grocery store chain donated $120,000 to the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky. The money donated from Save-A-Lot will go to the Housing Development Alliance as it works to build homes for those impacted by flooding and helping repairing homes as well.
I'm really blessed that my company's wanting to step up and give back to our communities. You know, we do a lot of fundraisers where our customers chip in and help raise money for different things, but this was 100% our company giving back to our area.
Housing Development Alliance Executive Director Scott McReynolds said, quote, "This incredibly generous gift will make a huge difference in the lives of several families who lost their home in the floods," end quote. A film crew from Japan is spending one year making a documentary over in Whitesburg. Our Keaton Hall shares how the group is documenting an important piece of Appalachian history.
Appalshop has documented the story of the mountains for decades, and now a film crew is helping to document theirs.
Throughout June and July, they let us film the Summer Documentary Institute that they have for the youth.
Filmmakers Akiko and Atsushi Kasazawa moved from Tokyo, Japan to Whitesburg in the spring.
We instantly felt at home, so to speak, you know.
I think the people are very kind.
Their film is about Appalshop and 2 local students in their program. But their story took a turn once the floods hit.
It was really shocking to see how much damage it's been done, you know. Not just getting the water all the way up to the ceiling, but the mud and all that was left there, it was really shocking to see.
The Kasazawas were able to capture the first few days of cleanup when Appalshop employees rushed to save pieces of mountain history.
It was also very touching to see that there's been a lot of volunteers out of town or even out of states that came to help.
Akiko and Atsushi say they've been inspired by the resilience of Appalachians and their artistic talents.
The people love art, the playing, the instruments, and the drawing.
The actual people that we've met are very talented and very kind and nothing like the stereotypes. So we're hoping that, you know, in our documentary that people will see that too.
The Kasazawas hope to broadcast their documentary nationwide in Japan. In Whitesburg, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Akiko says sitting on their porch in the evening is one of their favorite things about Kentucky since they don't have porches in Tokyo. Addiction Recovery Care is working to make sure people stay warm this winter. ARC is working with Appalachian Reach Out and Rise Above to hold a coat drive. Donated coats will be given to Kentuckians recovering from addiction. ARC says its goal is to collect more than 1,000 coats.
So one of the last things that we want our clients to be concerned about when they come in for treatment is what they're going to wear or how they're going to stay warm. We want them to stay entirely focused on getting better and healing.
Right now, ARC has collected around 300 coats. You can drop off the donations at the ARC outpatient offices in Mount Sterling and Moorhead. Well, just ahead this morning, an actor well known for his role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe receives a new badge of honor, just like the one of his fellow superhero superstars before him.
We've got some pictures for you from the lunar eclipse. I'll show you those here in just a minute, but our milder trend will continue a few more days before it changes, end up in our region by the end of the week. I'll track them out for you about 3 minutes.